Another China's top tech banker, Bao Fan, is missing. What happens to these businessmen and their companies after they go missing? Is it safe to invest in Chinese stocks? We are going to discuss this today. Hi everyone, welcome to What's Up SG. Why did Bao Fan go missing? Bao Fan, founder of China Renaissance and China's top tech banker, went missing on February 16, according to several news media reports. The president of China Renaissance, Chongling, also went missing 5 months ago, in September last year. Bao, 52, is one of China's most prolific deal makers and is seen as a titan in China's tech industry, having executed many of its trades that have shaped its online consumer economy. Bao founded China Renaissance in 2005 and went public in Hong Kong in 2021 after a banking career at Morgan Stanley and Credit Suisse. His company was behind landmark deals, including Tencent's strategic investment in JD.com and mergers of mobile transportation giants Didi and Kuaidi, and food delivery giants Meituan and Tianping. China's Renaissance has also advised the IPOs of e-commerce sites JD.com and Kuaishou, as well as Didi's listing on the New York Stock Exchange in 2021. When Bao went missing on February the 16th, China Renaissance stock prices tumbled by as much as 28% the following morning to 7 Hong Kong dollars and 18 cents per share. Bao's family has been told he was assisting with an investigation, which is likely related to the company's former president, Chongling. Little information has been released publicly about Chongling's disappearance. The sudden disappearance of Bao is yet another crackdown by the CCP. In many cases, the missing person is said to be assisting graft probes or becomes the subject of an investigation into corruption or financial crimes in China. Oftentimes, these bosses were taken away mysteriously, and the companies themselves report they do not know the whereabouts of their bosses and need to make their own inquiries into what happened within China. Will this be the last time CCP cracked down on its entrepreneurs? Many prominent Chinese businessmen has been reported missing over the years, having been detained by the Chinese authorities. Some were released by the authorities after a few months and returned to work, while others were subsequently jailed or forced to give up control of their companies. Jack Ma, Alibaba's chairman, went missing for 3 months after criticizing the CCP for the lack of a financial system in China in November 2020. Shortly after Ma's criticism, CCP cancelled Ant's 37 billion IPO, which was considered the largest in the history of China. Ma relinquished control of Ant in February this year. Ren Zhiqiang, a former real estate tycoon, went missing in March 2020 after writing an essay critical of Xi Jinping's handling of COVID-19. Ren has been sentenced to 18 years in jail on charges of corruption. In August 2018, casino operator Lending International Development Limited reported its then chairman, Yang Jihui, had disappeared. Yang resurfaced 3 months later with the explanation that he was assisting authorities with an investigation. However, in November last year, Lending said it had suspended Yang after the Securities and Future Commissions of Hong Kong started legal proceedings against him, alleging he had breached fiduciary duties related to other business dealings. Financier Xiao Jianhua, who ran China's Tomorrow's holding company Empire, was taken away from Hong Kong by Chinese authorities in January 2017. In August last year, Xiao was sentenced to 13 years in prison after the Chinese authorities found him guilty of illegally obtaining public deposits, breach of trust, and illegal use of funds. In 2015, Foshan chairman Guo Guangchang briefly disappeared to help with the Chinese authorities' investigation. He later re-emerged, vowing to ensure the business was not reliant on any one individual. Why should we be concerned with Bao going missing? Bosses who go missing underscore a big challenge for China investors, key man risk. When Chinese executives are missing, it typically sparks a tumble in the stock market valuation, and investors pay the price. While keyman risk is an issue around the world, it can be particularly acute in China, given the history of disappearances of prominent businessmen. Alibaba shares took a beating after Ma disappeared from the spotlight in November 2020. Ma's IPO of Ant was cancelled, and investors lost a total of 14 billion in investments. Singapore is one of the investors of Ant, according to WSJ. Investors could be stuck with their investments as the agreement limits their ability to cash out unless Ant goes public. The company announced it has no plans for listing. Since Bao went missing on February the 16th, the shares of China Renaissance have yet to recover and have tumbled 27% to date. Is it time to pull the brakes on Chinese investments? Temasek ramped up its stake by 4.4 times to nearly 940,000 shares in JD.com in the fourth quarter of last year. JD.com is China's largest online retailer, which seems like a good investment. But what if the chairman of JD.com went missing, either to assist in probes or having criticized the CCP? Will it send the share prices tumbling like Ma's Alibaba and Bao's China's Renaissance? JD.com was fined by the Chinese authorities in 2021. No one knows if the investigation of JD.com has been completed or what is to come next. What assurance do investors have to invest in Chinese stocks? Temasek's increase in investment in JD.com came as a surprise as GIC, Singapore's sovereign wealth fund, has put the brakes on private investments in China in the past year as it steps up scrutiny of risk in the country. Two people close to GIC's decision-making process are concerned with the growing geopolitical risk from souring US-China relations and seize common prosperity drive to reduce economic inequality in the country could lead to negative consequences. Common prosperity comes from the Marxist ideology, where your wealth belongs to the state. Imagine you decide to become an entrepreneur. You worked hard, took on all the business and market risk, and against all odds you succeeded, only to find all your hard work and the fruits of your success taken away from you. GIC has been a significant investor in China's real estate, and its investment in China have been hit by the country's property crisis and Beijing's crackdown on its Chinese tech companies, according to Financial Times. GIC said it still had significant exposure to China, and it will continue to explore long-term opportunities. That's all for today, my friends. Singapore has reaped impressive financial returns from China over almost 3 decades. But is it time to call it quits? If you like our video, please comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching.